Some students feel uncomfortable with the Wacc calculation question, so let's review it together. So this question comes from our homework too. It's that the company has $8,000 bonds outstanding. Bonds, the yield is 8.5%. Has 4 million shares of common stock outstanding, and the stock has 1.1 beta and sells for $40 per share. U.S. Treasury bill is 4%, and the market risk premium is given as 8%, and the company's tax rate is 35% and asking for the Wacc. So that is a direct calculation of Wacc. So the first of all, you need to write down the formula of the Wacc on your formula sheet. It's a good idea that you have a formula sheet, so you don't need to look over the books to try to find out the formula during the time-limited exam. Okay, so Wacc formula is listed here in the slides. So we need to find out the weight of the equity. We need to find out the cost of the equity, weight of the debt, and after-tax cost of the debt. So first of all, we try to figure out what is the cost of equity for this question. You can looking at your homework homework question now. So when I go through the steps, you can still have the copy of the question. Okay. So the first of all, we need to try to find out what is the cost of equity. Usually, we use a CAPM to determine the cost of equity. So of course, this formula is important and should be on your formula sheet as well. The cost of equity, of course, according to the CAPM, equals risk-free rate plus the beta of the equity times the differences between the market risk rate of return and the risk-free rate of return. So for this question, so what is the risk-free return is? Sometimes if the question tells you the risk-free rate of return, you can use it. If it doesn't tell you directly, usually we use the U.S. Treasury bills rate of return as the risk-free rate of return. So in this question, that is that the U.S. Treasury bill is 4%. So we got 4% here, and plus what is the beta? It tells you the beta is 1.1, right? And times the differences between the market rate of return and the risk-free rate of return, or in other words, times the market risk premium. And the question directly tells you that market risk premium is 8%. So we can just directly use it. So probably that is a trick here. So you got 0.128 for the cost of the equity. Cost of debt has already been given in the question. So it said the bonds have similar characteristic are yielding 8.5%. So that is our cost of bond. Okay. So weight. We need to figure out. Let's review this. The Wacc formula. We need to figure out what is the weight of the equity and what is the weight of the debt. So for the weight of the equity, we need to find out what is the amount of the equity and what is the sum of the amount of the equity and the debt, right? So first of all, we need to find out the amount of the debt and amount of the equity. So for this particular question, what is the amount of the debt? It's that we have 80,000 bonds outstanding, and it doesn't give you the face value of and it's selling at par value. It doesn't give to the par value, but it is a general rule that we know that the bond's face value is $1,000 per bond. So that is a kind of general rule that you should already know that. So that question doesn't give you, but you should know that. Unless that it tells you otherwise in the question, you need other face value, or else you just use $1,000. So we got the amount of the debt is $80,000, 80,000 shares times the face value per bond, and it gives you $80 million. And for the equity that is common stock, right? In this particular question, and it tells you that the market price is $40, and we got 4 million, right? 4 million, yeah, 4 million shares of common stock outstanding. So you use the number of shares outstanding times the share price, and you got 160 million. And then so the total would be, we say, debt plus equity equals 240, right? It's $240 million. So that then it is easy to know what is the weight of debt. We use 80 divided by 240. That is weight of debt, and weight of equity we have 160 divided by 240. Now we have everything we have already solved everything that is needed in this Wacc formula, and it's easy to input everything in this formula and get the Wacc. So the Wacc is 10.38%. Okay, that is all for this exam review. I hope that you find it useful, and good luck for the exam. Thank you.